Chrissy Lampkin didn't just get emotional, she completely broke down. And the person responsible? Camron. One leaked audio clip and a chilling voicemail shook everything she had built. It all came crashing down publicly and brutally. No filters, no edits, just chaos. The audio didn't just stir gossip, it opened up wounds Chrissy thought were long buried. Camron didn't hold back, and when Jim Jones heard it, he didn't argue or ask questions. He just walked out and didn't come back. Yes, Jim Jones, the man who stood by her through cheating rumors, street drama, and reality TV chaos, had finally had enough. Sources close to the couple say it's not just the audio that pushed him away. The leak confirmed something that had been simmering for years. Betrayal. And not just any betrayal. One that cuts deeper than anyone imagined. This isn't about TV drama anymore. This is the fall of one of hip-hop's most talked about relationships. Lies, secrets, and everything they tried to keep private is now being exposed. So after all the therapy sessions on camera, all the fights, all the public pain, and private attempts to fix things, we're here. Chrissy crying over a leaked video, showing her and Camron in what looks like an intimate setting. Candles, whispers, a vibe that didn't include Jim anywhere. And right when Jim was supposedly planning something big for Chrissy, some say another proposal, others say an elopement, he just dipped, stormed out of a private dinner, and hasn't responded to any messages since. Chrissy's people are scrambling, trying to manage the fallout. One person close to her said she hasn't stopped crying since the video surfaced. She swears she didn't even know it existed, but Jim saw it. And after watching, he reportedly said, "I can't do this no more." And honestly, who could blame him? The video might be blurry, but the voices are clear, and so is the chemistry. Even more shocking, Camron hasn't denied a thing. In fact, he added fuel to the fire by tweeting something vague just hours after the clip went viral. Some things should have stayed between us. That one tweet set social media off. Now people are wondering if the leak was really an accident, or if it was planned. Revenge? Attention-seeking? Who knows? What we do know is that Camron and Jim haven't been close for years. Old beef, old wounds. Some even believe Chrissy had something to do with the Dipset fallout, though no one ever confirmed it. Could this leaked video be the missing piece? Let's go back to the early 2000s. Chrissy, Camron, and Jim were all caught up in that Harlem fame. Money, music, and street respect. Chrissy was always there, known first as Jim's girl, then his ride or die, then the woman who stuck by him no matter what. But people whispered that she wasn't always just his. There were moments, awkward glances, strange comments, shady looks backstage, that made fans suspicious. At one point, Camron, "Keep your lady near or she might end up with the ghost." People brushed it off as just lyrics, but now maybe it wasn't just a bar. When Love and Hip Hop came around, Chrissy became more than just Jim's partner. Fans remember the time she proposed to Jim on national television. It was powerful. A woman flipping the script and asking for the commitment she had waited so long for. But even then, there was sadness under that bold move. She had spent years feeling overlooked, waiting for Jim to fully claim her. And now it all feels like it was for nothing, erased by a single video. A former member of the Love and Hip Hop production team shared that there were scenes we never got to see. Moments where Chrissy hinted at a deeper connection with someone from Jim's circle. She didn't name names, but the vibe was clear. One person stood by her when no one else did. What if that support crossed the line? Jim, who's usually vocal, has gone totally silent. No posts, no statements. For someone known for wearing his heart on his sleeve, that silence speaks volumes. Some say he's in Miami. Others believe he's off the grid and planning his next move. Meanwhile, online sleuths are treating the video like it's the JFK footage, slowing it down, analyzing voices, comparing tattoos, trying to uncover every detail. What makes it worse is the timing. Just days before the leak, Chrissy appeared on a podcast talking about second chances, trust, and wanting to start a family. She even said, "Jim and I are stronger than we've ever been." Imagine saying that, only to wake up and find your world falling apart in front of millions. There's even a theory that this whole thing was scripted. Some fans believe it's all for ratings, clout, or maybe even a new show. And while that's possible, there's one major problem. Chrissy's pain looks real. Witnesses say she had a full-on panic attack during a meeting, sobbing, shaking, saying over and over, "I didn't do this." If she's acting, give her every award possible, because she's convincing a lot of people. People close to the situation say she looked completely frozen, like her soul had left the room. She sat on a couch holding her phone like it had just destroyed her future. And in a way, maybe it did, because the footage didn't just show questionable moments, it also included voicemail recordings, supposedly from Chrissy, where she expressed frustration with her relationship with Jim. She even hinted that she always had a backup plan. Fans are dissecting the audio, comparing it to past episodes, trying to confirm it's really her voice. And Camron didn't leak it quietly. He dropped it with a caption that made everything worse. The internet exploded. People were saying Chrissy had been scheming, that Jim gave his all to the wrong person. People quickly started asking if Chrissy and Camron had a secret relationship behind Jim's back. Was this just a betrayal? Or something deeper, like plotting behind the scenes? Bloggers didn't hold back. Gossip pages rushed to get interviews with people who claimed to know Chrissy and Camron. One anonymous person, who said they were a hairstylist in Chrissy's circle, shared on TikTok that Chrissy would laugh whenever someone mentioned Camron, even though he was supposed to be her man's enemy. Chrissy kept quiet online. Jim Jones's name started trending after Mona Scott, producer of Love and Hip Hop, shared a vague statement that stirred things up. Then she unfollowed both Chrissy and Cam on Instagram. A photo from 2007 resurfaced showing Chrissy and Cam in a backstage moment, his hand low on her waist and her face close to his. Back then, people ignored it. Now, it was seen as clear. Proof something had been going on. Other celebrities jumped in too. Yandy Smith threw shade online, posting that karma always comes around. Reality star Remy Ma added a blunt comment under a blog post. Betrayal will cost you everything. Things took a hit offline too. Companies started backing away from Chrissy. A wig brand she had promoted deleted all traces of her from their page. A jewelry brand canceled a future campaign and released a vague statement about trust and values. She was losing money and partnerships fast. Meanwhile, Jim disappeared from the public eye. Sources said he was laying low in Miami. One blurry photo taken at a hotel showed him looking worn out, like someone who had been betrayed at every level. People who once praised Chrissy as Jim's ride or die started turning on her. Memes flooded in with titles like "The Real Reason Jim Never Married Her" and "Chrissy, the Hidden Villain of Dipset." Camron hinted that there was more to come. He suggested he had documents that could blow everything open. Chrissy still hadn't spoken. Each hour she stayed silent. More theories piled up. Then came a new rumor. Maybe Chrissy was the one who pushed Jim to cut ties with Cam years ago. Not only was she hiding things, she might have been pulling strings the whole time. Now people weren't asking if she was guilty. They were asking how much of Jim's life she had secretly shaped with lies. It felt less like a scandal and more like a full-blown tragedy. Chrissy's name flooded social media like never before. Sources close to her said she had locked herself away in a private villa in the Hamptons, refusing to speak to anyone, not even her closest friends or family. One insider told a blog that Chrissy wasn't answering calls, not even from her mom. She was crying nonstop, with makeup stains on her sheets and glass broken on the floor. The vibe in the house, the source said, was just dark. Despite her apparent breakdown, the public didn't care. People were glued to every update. Camron knew what he was doing. A week after the first leak, he returned to Instagram Live. This time, he held up a folder labeled "Last Straw PDF" for in the first 30 seconds, he just stared into the camera while viewers begged him to drop the bomb. Then he finally spoke. "You want answers? Let me tell you why Jim stopped trusting people. Let me tell you why Dipset fell apart. Loyalty doesn't exist in this game." He then showed two old, grainy photos. One showed Chrissy relaxed next to an unknown man in a lounge, eyes closed, and smiling while he wrapped his arm around her. The second was a hotel hallway security cam shot with a timestamp. The mystery man walked into a room and Chrissy followed 5 minutes later. Camron didn't say who the man was, but Twitter went wild. In no time, the phrase "mystery guy" trended. Some guessed he was a big-name exec. Others claimed it was a rival rapper who once dissed Jim in a track. The wildest theory? That it was a famous actress who had secretly been involved with Chrissy and wanted to use Jim to get into the music game. It didn't matter what was real. The story had taken on a life of its own. Then came another twist. A voice note surfaced, allegedly from someone who used to work for Mona Scott. The woman in the clip sounded just like Chrissy. She said, "Camron knows too much. I told him to keep quiet. If he talks, I'm done. Jim will really leave me this time." The voice wasn't confirmed, but no one cared. The clip went viral. Reddit threads blew up, and fans started putting together videos trying to prove Chrissy had been manipulating people for years. Meanwhile, Jim finally showed up in New York at a club event he had been booked for long ago, but he didn't perform. He stood in the VIP section, sipping a drink, arms crossed while Dipset songs played. When We Fly High came on, the crowd started chanting about Chrissy. Jim didn't respond. He just closed his eyes. Some said he looked like he was praying. Others said he was reliving every lyric in his head. Back at Chrissy's hideaway, sources said her anxiety was so bad that she almost ended up in the emergency room. A nurse told a gossip outlet that Chrissy's blood pressure was through the roof. She couldn't breathe. She kept saying, "He hates me. He'll never forgive. Me, it's over." This was the same woman who once ran things in New York's toughest social circles. Now her life was in total collapse. Then came the final blow. Jim's outspoken mother, known for never holding back, went live on Facebook. She emotionally tore into Chrissy, saying she always knew something was off. "Y'all called me a hater, but I saw the sneaky looks, the whispers. Now you see what I saw. The internet agreed. Mama Jones had been right all along. To make matters worse, a leaked email claimed Mona Scott wanted to re-edit old Love and Hip Hop episodes to include footage they couldn't air back then. A mystery editor said she wants to drop the controversy cut. It's game time. Now, this wasn't just about a cheating scandal. It had become about rewriting the past. Brands weren't just cutting Chrissy off. They were coming after her. One fashion company demanded their $60,000 advance back, saying her image had caused damage. Another brand sent a legal notice asking her to stop claiming she was ever their ambassador, though she was still missing from the public eye. Someone close to her supposedly passed a handwritten note to Jim. The message, later leaked online, read, "I don't want forgiveness. I just want the truth to stop being used as a weapon. That's it."